hello from Hudson and I.
Hello.
We just went for a little stroll. Actually, we went for a drive to Wyoming. And then we thought, what is close? Dun dun dun! Yes, we are at Mount Rushmore. Oh yes. Hey pals, and welcome back to the start of another video. So we left off at Mount Rushmore in the last video, and that's what you guys will have just seen. And so what happened? First of all, why did we even go to Mount Rushmore? So I actually had a friend in Montana, and so we met up halfway, and I think we actually met in Wyoming, and then afterwards we were driving back. And Hudson was like, we could just go to Mount Rushmore, it's pretty close. So I was like, okay. So we drove like maybe an hour to go see it, and it's so beautiful. The park is beautiful, and we stayed there for a little bit, and then we left as soon we left right at the right time because it started storming like as soon as we got in the car. It was so perfect, and it only stormed for maybe like half an hour, and then it was fine. And we had a bit of a drive back to Colorado to his house, and so it was maybe like 4-ish hours or something like that. So maybe halfway into the drive, I would say, it was dark now. It was about 9 o'clock, and I hit a deer. And I don't have a very big car, so it smashed it up pretty bad. We were going about 75 on the highway, and it hit my driver's side, the light, and then somehow I feel like it was able to dent my driver's side door, so I couldn't open it, so I had to crawl out through the passenger side. But it was such a God story, guys. Our airbags didn't deploy, which kind of shocked me, but I feel like neither of us were injured, and everyone told us like if that deer had just been a foot ahead, it would have gone straight through our windshield, and just like all the things. Like my car was still drivable, that light was hanging off, my bumper was not good, and so it was kind of crazy because I had bungee cords in the back of my car for another reason for my car for like years ago, but I still had it in my car, so we were able to like, well, Hudson did all this. Kudos to him. I was kind of just like, I cannot believe that happened, and then I also couldn't get out my side, so I just sat there and kind of like prayed. So he was able to kind of like rig it up so it wasn't dragging when I was driving. So then I drove like 40 miles an hour. I drove so slow. And then we drove maybe like, to get into the next town, we were in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, when this happened, and we drove for like 15 minutes to get to a gas station because we also needed to fill up on gas within the next hour or so. So I was like, I do not want to run out of gas. That would be the worst possible situation to be stranded. And then so we made it to a gas station, but everything was closed in this town, so we kept driving to the next town, and it was a miracle. Like, it was the Lord's provision 100%. Like, you cannot deny this. It was 10 o'clock at this point, and these guys were like packing up their car, and it looked like a mechanic shop. So we pulled in, and they came over immediately and were like, what's wrong? And we were like, we hit a deer. And they're like, oh my gosh, are you guys okay? How can we help? And they took wire and like rigged up my car even more and made sure everything was okay, that it was okay to drive back, because we still had like maybe 2 hours of a drive. And they were just such a blessing. They were like, here, take this, and we were like, can we pay you anything? They were like, absolutely not. So it was just like, it was amazing. Like, it was all the Lord's provision, and we were not harmed, and we made it home. And then on top of that, yes, I stayed in Colorado for, I want to say 2 more weeks after that, or a week and a half, so it was a while. But insurance was amazing, and the people that fixed it, Caliber Collision, they did such a good job, and it was just totally God, the whole story. So that's why I ended up staying in Colorado for so long. But also God was just so nice in giving me that time with Hudson, since we are doing long distance. So that was just so like, it's kind of crazy. Now I'm kind of like feel weird about driving at night on the highway because I'm so like hyper vigilant about like any animal crossings, you know. That'll kind of just change you when you feel like that impact and stuff. It's not a good feeling. But other than that, like, the Lord has been so faithful through it all. And yeah, so what you're gonna see next is me talking about my experience with Hudson when we went skydiving. So obviously you knew that by the title of this video, but I hope you guys enjoy. Hey pals, and welcome back to the start of another video. Guess who I'm with? Hello. And today, like on the world race, is Adventure Day, and that is because we are going skydiving. I'm freaking out. how do you feel?
Ready, excited, and I'm glad I'm doing it with you.
He's wanted to do this since he was 18, correct?
Yes.
I've never really felt like I wanted to do this. I always said on the race that if I had the opportunity to go bungee jumping, I would. But I've never really cared about going skydiving. And so how this came about was we were sitting out on his front porch. Was this 2 days ago now?
Yeah.
And I think you asked, you were like, what do you want to do today? And I was like, I don't know, I want to go skydiving, like joking. I told him on the way here, I was like, I'm gonna have to be careful about what I say from now on because we are now skydiving. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be bonding.
Oh yes.
My parents called last night and they were like, so Son's working tomorrow? And I said no. So they're like, so what are you gonna do? And I just was like, and then I said, I'll tell you after we do it. So then they started guessing different things. I think they're gonna be shook.
Yes.
And
the closest thing they got to it was whitewater rafting.
yes, which we've already done.
In Uganda.
Yes, that was so fun. I feel like my brothers are gonna be shook, and they're gonna text me and be like, "You went skydiving," you know? No, no one in my family has.
Oh my.
Yeah. So they're gonna be like, Bailee of all people went and did this. They're gonna be like, who is this Hudson boy? Okay. Anyway, this is a 2-minute long video, and we gotta get to the good stuff because we're 5 minutes away now. Gotta prep my mind. Sorry that this angle was really bad up here. Okay, any last words?
I like you at everything.
He's so kind to me. Okay, bye. Guys, we're here. Do you think this is the plane we're gonna take? My heart is beating so fast. How are you not freaking out?
This is gonna be so fun.
Oh.
Let's go do it.
Oh, he just prayed a prayer. I'll tell you about the prayer later. Oh, maybe that's our prayer. Okay, well, we survived.
Yes, we did.
You want to tell your story?
No, tell your experience.
My experience? My experience was good. I was nervous. It was just like different than I expected. I don't know why, but it was so short.
Yeah.
And it was very cold. I think the scariest part was when he like popped open the door. I was like, oh my gosh! And I yelled whenever, that's what I yelled when I hopped out of the plane. I was like, oh my! And he got to watch me be thrown out of the plane because
so funny.
You don't do anything. You literally just like are laying on your instructor and they just like force you out.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'll show you guys my pictures. Well, I can just insert them because they'll be online, but they're so funny. And we have certificates. Oh baby, we're now certified as first jumpers.
Yes.
Okay, now Hudson's story is a little more.
It's a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
So what happened was.
What had happened was,
jumped out of the plane, and I was like, wow, these straps are tight. Jumped out of the plane, do your 45 seconds of free falling, you know, where you're screaming your head off, can't hear a thing, and the earth is coming at you very fast. And then all of a sudden, we opened the parachute, and on the way down, I think I lost a lot of blood circulation. So I passed out for about a solid 20 seconds.
Yes.
And photo inserted.
Boop, look, there's my instructor. He's about to walk by. There he is, Darren. Shout out to you.
Yes, and so I passed out, but I awoke before we landed.
He did, which is really good. Otherwise, that could have been a crash landing.
Yes.
He was very pale when he landed. I had never seen him like that. It was very sad. But he's okay now.
And had a lot of fun. I just learned that I am not going to be a career skydiver. It is not my part of the body of Christ.
Always bringing it back to the body. But yeah, I will say, I don't know if I would do it again. Would you do it again?
Don't want to pass out again.
It's just like, it kind of is a painful experience. I'm just gonna say it. Like, when you jump, it's not painful, but when they open the chute, it's like, yeah, look at his That's so painful. Ow. I don't have those marks. Tough girl. Just kidding. But like everything, like what's that called?
Like the harness?
The harness. Whenever they open the shoe, like everything just goes, huh! And you're like, ow, that was painful. And then if they'll do turns, you guys did turns? I watched you do it. That was so interesting. I was like, there's Hudson. Yeah, that was kind of painful because it's just like makes it all tighter. But did he loosen it for you? The harness?
After we got on the ground.
Oh, not at all in the air? Oh, my dude loosened it. He was like, let me help you out there. It didn't help very much, but I still appreciate it. Okay, now we came to another place.
Yes, we did.
Can you see it? Where is it? Oh, see this bridge? The Royal Gorge Bridge.
About 1,000-foot drop.
Bridge to Terabithia. Comment down below if you've seen that. Just kidding. Look at all those tiny little people that are being ripped off. We said, why would you pay $27 to walk on that? And then here is Red Gondola. I thought a gondola was a boat.
Then over there you have the
mountains.
swing.
Oh, the big tall
arch?
This thing.
Yeah, the arch.
And then there were people that were like zip lining. It's a weird zip line. They kind of were they
like
sitting?
A body harness.
Or were they laying down?
Yeah, they were sitting.
Oh, it could have been like in Divergent, if you guys remember.
Comment if you've seen that movie.
When Triss goes down. Is that in the first movie? I think it is, after they do capture the flag.
We're gonna have to watch the movie again.
Okay. If it's full, so tell us where we are.
We are at the Skyline Drive. As you look to your right, there's your drop. As you look to your left.
Can you even tell?
Here,
Oh, it's because the rocks are right there.
And if you go to the left, there's also a pretty significant drop over El Paso.
We're in Texas.
No, we are not. No, we are not. We are closer to God than El Paso is. So, and now that her mouth is not full, we will turn it back over to Bailee.
I'm still swallowing. Guess what we had for lunch? PJs, yummy. Okay, well he said everything, so that's all I had to report with. Ooh. Look at this. It's kind of scary. I think this is scarier than going. What did we do? Skydiving. Oh, I don't like.
You just want to show the viewers that.
It's not like,
Here, I'll show.
No. Where you go?
It's just a neutral.
Hudson Paul. We gotta go.